All right, because the thing I was saying that you know how it's funny when, especially if you do grow up in a single parent household. Think about it. When you were young, you believed everything your parents say, and then when you start getting older and you start dating and seeing how other people act, like a light bulb goes off, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? This is how such and such could have ended up like this. This is how something could have ended up like this because you see it happen, you see it happening all around you.
But it's not that like young people like us are actually taking the initiative to do so. It's like we have to find out the hard way or something like that.
Swim upstream.
Because our parents, like I said before, our parents basically are trying to like something. They'll probably do something bad in their childhood, but try to hide it from us because they don't want us to grow up like that, and they want to be the so-called perfect parent and teach us the right way to do things and stuff like that. But they're not teaching us, how to survive in the real world. And when you actually go out on the real world on your own, living off of what your mother was trying to teach you, you find something different, and then you find out the hard way, and you come back with questions to your mother or father asking, well, I just found this out and I just found that out and it's different from what you told me, and why. You want to know why. You want to ask questions, but and then maybe they'll start to confess, or they'll try to blow you off or something to make it seem like it's untrue and things of that nature. And that's how people grow up to live lives.
But speaking of parents, okay, so see, now we're in 2012, and now we have a dawn of of new parents coming out right now, and now we're gonna have parents where it's two men in a household raising a little boy, or two men raising a little girl, or two women raising a little boy, or two women raising a little girl. And I think we're living in times where a whole bunch of shit is about to start to show their ass. To like really think about it, like you have different communities pushing things at the government for the government to legalize things, So do you believe we're living in a time where a bunch of things are about to show their ass? Because now you got, because I have nothing against gay people, I have nothing against feminists. Well, I do a little bit, but against feminists. But you have feminists pushing their agenda, which is a lot of reason why a lot of things are going on at the same time. And then you have, gay rights activists. They recently won marriage in America, in Maryland. And the thing about it is, will the same laws that go under a traditional household, will they happen to them? And the thing about it is, how will a judge choose who's the more fit mother for the child and this, that, and the third? Because even times they have cases where the mother wasn't fit to take care of the child, but they still gave the children to the mother. So, do you think that there's gonna be some ass showing in that community? And then with the feminists, and then now where they're gonna have the male birth control pill and things like this now, and the artificial womb, do you think they're gonna show their ass when it comes to that?
I don't think there's that much difference in society. I mean, society's just transitioned into something worse. It's just more of it. I don't think there's really, and I think I told you this before, I don't think there's really that much different overall in society than it was 15 years ago. It's just more, I honestly really don't. So I think they're going to handle it the way they always handle it. But as far as parents, I think that the biggest thing is just to be real with your kids. And at least admit, yes, I was dumb as hell when I was a kid. But I learned. Right. At least be real. This notion of, no, it wasn't this bad when I was 15. Right. That's bullshit. And I tell parents that.
Yeah.
And the notion, like I said, most parents think the young people are idiots anyway. Most parents assume y'all think y'all
that's
idiots.
True.
So and that's the reason. It is like,
and that's what I was talking about with the whole seniority thing, and that's a lot of reasons too why young people hear this all the time, and they've heard this over the generation. Why you would think that not too many of them will call them on their bullshit. Because a parent would sit there and look you in the eye and tell you a whole bunch of bullshit.
But that's what I tried to tell you. Oh, yeah, see, that's why they count that young people don't read. Hey, it was the same thing. They count that young people don't read.
Yeah.
They count. So all you got to do to, like you say, call them up on it.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Like, all right, so we already know how, like, parents they had, have lived the bad life or the fast life back then, but they try to hide it from their kids now to try to make it seem like, they've lived in a perfect world, and they just trying to hide that from their kids so they won't have to live like that. How would you think that their kids would turn out now if they were to tell the truth and try to, tell them to, not to learn from their mistakes, but to, like, not live that way?
They would be relatable. And I'm going to be honest, I'm using my own examples of how it was when I was a kid, what I would have liked for my parents, and people that I knew as teenagers would have liked our parents, because my generation was going through the same thing. I went through the Snoop Dogg era, I went through the gangster shit. And my parents were looking at me the same goddamn way. Oh, it wasn't this bad when we, so it's, I think if parents were just real, they would easily, and try to relate. I mean, it's like, it would probably be, if they would just be a little bit honest about what they said, and nobody's saying there's a difference between glorifying your past and just being honest about your past and saying, hey, I learned from this. Right. At least nobody's saying glorify that you were a gang member. But at least tell your kid, hey, I was a gang member. Don't pretend that you weren't. Tell them I was a gang member. This is my example. I learned from it. I'm grown. Learn from it. And that way, I mean, at least, don't you think there's a big difference? It's kind of like most of the things that the young people go out and experience. Like you say, because parents paint this picture and don't really tell them the real deal. Don't you think if parents painted a more realistic picture about what the real world was, younger people would be less apt to. If you had fathers and mothers painting a real picture about what it's like to be a gang member, you would probably have young people less likely to do stuff like that. I mean, if they were just honest about.
The thing about it with me is that what parents do, especially in America, even Eastern society, kind of tells their children a lot more than I think Western society. What happens is that a lot of times parents hide things from their child, and what happens is that when they hide things from their child, children knows what's up after a while when they hide things. And what happens is that the child's going to go out behind the parent's back and do it.
Be more apt to do it.
And because a lot of times when children do things, they're like, okay, well, she's hiding this from me, and I know she wouldn't want me to do this, but why?
Especially
let me go do
with
it.
Strict parents.
When they don't let their kids out the house.
Exactly.
When they don't let their kids out the house, they think they're hiding some type of fun or some type of things from them, because all your friends around you at the time are going to be like, well, this is fun. Why don't your parents let you do it?
Especially dealing with drugs, alcohol, parties, and sexual activity.
And even sneaking people in your house.
Right.
So it's just, your parents won't let you have company, you'll sneak somebody in.
35-year-old mothers dictating to their teenage girls, knowing damn well they were teen mothers the damn self. I mean, it's really fun.
You have cases. You have cases too, because nowadays you have, and we're going to talk about this on the next discussion too. About, actually, I'm gonna cut it right here and tune into the next discussion. We're going to talk about pregnancy. We're going to talk about young pregnancy, and ladies, don't worry. We're going to go in on the fathers too. We're going to go in on the fathers too. So, next discussion. Young pregnancy.
Are you gonna